I'm Lexi.
I'm Maya.
I'm Arthur.
And I'm Mia.
Okay, you guys are animators at an animation studio who we're pitching our series to.
So picture this.
Our series is Artificial Revolution.
Yes. So picture this. In a hyper-advanced technology-driven world, a mistreated blue-collar worker gets his hands on the code for an implantable AI device, and the dark side of technology is revealed.
Okay, the genre is more like sci-fi, dystopian, futuristic, and then in like drama, the themes are friendship, identity, and power.
So as mentioned before, our short series is very inspired by futuristic, dystopian, and sci-fi genres. Specifically, we were inspired by like Tron and like Tomorrowland and movies with very futuristic elements. So where does our story take place? It takes place in 2050 in the Sithis realm, which, as mentioned before, is very technology-driven. Everyone there is pretty high-tech, specifically in the central city of Quantum Heights. In the central city of Quantum Heights is the biggest technology company in this world. It's called ArthurK, and a lot of the elite class members reside near ArthurK, work there, and it's just a very exclusive place. However, in the outer neighborhoods, which is called Databurg, the people are very deprived of technology. It's very low class, which is kind of ironic considering the futuristic state of the world. And kids in these neighborhoods dream of entering Quantum Heights. And the only way to enter Quantum Heights is through applying in a very selective job process. So our protagonist is Luna Bites. She is a member of the lower class neighborhoods. In her free time, she enjoys tinkering with old technology that she finds in the dumps where the elite class throws away their old unused technology. That's the only way that people in this lower class can get access to technology. So she loves to tinker, and she dreams of one day entering Quantum Heights, like many of the kids in the neighborhoods. Phantom Prime is our main protagonist. He also originally grew up in the lower class neighborhoods. He was originally friends with Luna at the beginning of the story, and he ended up becoming very jealous of the elite class and all the technology that they had access to, and so he ends up scamming his way into the city.
Okay, so our third character, her name is Cloud. She is 24 and she is the mentor character of this story. Later in the story, you'll find her helping Luna as she, well, I'm gonna spoil it right now, but she enters Quantum Heights and they try to investigate the mystery of the crime.
Okay, and our other character is Oliver Cypher. He is the CEO and founder of ArthurK. He was the initial person developing the chip that's implanted in people's brains to kind of alter, more like physical or more like mental parts by being implanted to a certain part of the brain. And yeah, he's very self-driven. He kind of does things for himself.
So Act 1. So our story starts on an average day in the neighborhoods, the lower class neighborhoods. Luna just got back from her job, where she works at the dumps where the elite people throw away their old technology. And she's super excited because she just got her hands on a new mysterious device, and she immediately goes home and starts to tinker with it. She also recently, she gets notified that she was yet again denied from her application to enter the Quantum Heights city. But she is very excited when Phantom Prime, her childhood friend who works in the city, comes home and gives her 2 sets of goggles. One of them is for her to tinker with, and one of them is for her to wear. He tells her not to tinker with it. And she tells him that she's very disappointed. She hasn't been able to have any luck getting into the city, and he's pretty reserved for a while, but on the last day he tells her that he has a plan to get her in the city.
Alright, so instead of trying to apply for a job in Quantum Heights from Databerg, the Phantom convinces Luna to sneak into the city, where she's gonna be able to find work a lot easier, and also have access to all the tech she could possibly want, including the highly advanced artichoke. And so the two begin to devise a plan to cross over the heavily militarized border that divides Quantum Heights and Databerg. And so using a fake ID and a pair of improvisers that the Phantom gives her, Luna hopes to deceive the guards into thinking that she is a high-class resident of Quantum Heights. And fortunately, the plan works, and she's able to enter the city. And Luna quickly applies for a factory job, and she is hired to assemble the fabled artichoke she always wanted to get. But on her first shift, she notices that many of the workers around her they look sickly, as if a disease has spread across the factory. And a healthy-looking worker approaches Luna, and she introduces herself as Cloud, who is a university student. And Cloud tells Luna that she suspects that somebody has installed malware on every single artichoke inside of Quantum Heights, which has caused like a mass brainwash. And the two then agree to work together to try to find out the perpetrator and how the chips were hacked.
And then Act 3, as Arthur and Maya introduced, Luna wants to be part of Quantum Heights even though she comes from the lower class society. By taking the position at ArthurK alongside Cloud, she strives to discover her personal worth as a businesswoman, and she starts to regain her confidence working alongside Cloud, investigating the crime of Phantom, our antagonist character, who is the enemy of the story and is ultimately the one implementing the artichokes into people, causing their health to decline. So Cloud and Luna are investigating the crime, Phantom, on the other hand, keeps developing new technology that overall puts everyone under his authority. And but since Luna comes from the lower class, Phantom had only originally implemented the chip into the citizens of Quantum Heights, but since Luna is technically from the lower class and snuck into Quantum Heights, she is not affected by this chip. So she tries to persuade Phantom into leaving the dark side and restoring the economy he has destroyed. But we don't know if Phantom ultimately chooses to go with Luna or he continues to destroy the world.
So this is just our media, this is the movie poster and the book cover. So now for reflection. So in creating this series, we actually drew heavy inspiration from some of the books we read in English. For example, Seeing Silicon Valley, which kind of shows the dark side of like a technology-driven society, as well as Parable of the Sower, which shows a chaotic, futuristic world.
And then my reflection for this project is that when looking at all of our research essay topics, we decided to have my idea of AI, because my original research essay topic was about how AI affects education, but instead of it affecting education, we decided to make AI control like the rest of my group members' ideas for their research essay topics. So my idea eventually became like an umbrella for their ideas, and then we also found it a fun process because we each our team basically has at least one person from each elective this year. So I'm in film, Maya is in design, and Arthur and Lexi are in animation. So we found to be like using implements from all electives into our presentation this year.
Can you tell us one more time who's the audience?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like
You might have said it, but I just missed it. Go
yeah, like animators at animation studio.
Okay.
Louisa.
So sorry, what? Could you remind me the name of the guy who tried to sneak in and change the malware to bring up everyone?
Phantom Prime.
What is his motivation for doing that?
So he's actually originally from the lower classes as well, and he's very jealous of the elite classes because they have all this nice technology and gear, and they're so advanced. Yet all of his family and friends and himself, they really suffered with a lack of all these things, and so he becomes very jealous, and so that's kind of what makes him a little bit like angry and wanting to do these bad things.
You mentioned that AI was like, you kind of use that as an umbrella topic for like the story. And I was just wondering like what your other group members while building essay topics and then how you address them in the story.
Yes. So mine was about like lack of diversity, which is kind of addressed in like kind of groups of people and lack of like integration and how society kind of functions in that way.
Yeah, mine was kind of about like green cities and urban development in a sustainable manner. And so I think in our story, we kind of, there's not a lot of like nature, it's very like technological. I think that kind of emphasizes that kind of, that not happening as much. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and then mine was like how more of like beauty standards and stuff, and how like in advertisements, so like how like usually like a lot of times things are like edited and stuff, and I feel like that can go along with like the chip and like how it kind of like alters like the brain. Oh, Sophia. Oh.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, because you all mentioned several times that like the main character, not like the other big character, I forgot. Oh, Luna, yeah. She really wants to go into the inner city, but like what I don't really understand is like how does the lack of like